welcome to PleasureSports. Today we're going to take a look at the new Oneill Mutant. It actually gets its name from its removable hood. All you have to do to change the hood is unzip the back and the front and replace it with a hoodless collar. So the Mutant gets its name from this particular feature. What we're looking at today is the 4.3mm and the 3.2mm versions. That means that the 4.3 has 4mm neoprene in the core, 3 in the arms. The 3.2 has 3mm in the core and 2mm in the arms. So they're identical in construction except for the fact of the thickness of the neoprene. These suits are designed for colder waters, and the reason the central core is thicker is because we want to keep the core nice and warm because it's what pumps the blood out to the extremities. And we want to keep the arms thinner neoprene, slightly thinner because they're very active, and so we want that flexibility in the suit. This suit is made of Ultraflex DS neoprene. That's a proprietary neoprene, and if you look here, it's really stretchy. It's 100% stretch throughout the entire suit. So you've got a really dynamic neoprene in a very thick suit. What we also have here in the seams is a glued and blind stitch seam. GBS is what you'll often see it read as. GBS means it was first glued in the manufacturing process, and then there was a stitch put halfway through. And in this particular suit, the stitch you'll be able to see on the interior. If we actually look at the interior here, behind this weld is the stitching, and then the weld was put on top of it. So this is also a single welded suit. In the chest panel itself, the weld's on the inside. If you take a look at this suit on the outside, you won't see a weld at all. If you look at the seams on the outside, off the chest panel, like in the arms, you'll see that the weld is on the exterior of the arms. And if you look on the inside, you won't see that at all. There's no weld on the inside. It's a great suit. It's sealed. What I want to show you here also is that this weld is actually called the fluid seam weld. The reason it's put on these suits is to give it a little bit more durability as well as make it watertight. Some water can penetrate some seams, and it cannot in this particular suit. What I also want to draw your attention to in a bigger view of this suit is that we have large pieces of neoprene. It's more expensive to use large pieces of neoprene in the manufacturing process. The reason being, you can't use little pieces that are little extras to go in places if you want large bits of stretch. So what we're seeing here is less seams means more stretch. So that's what we're seeing here. So we've got a very gummy wetsuit here. On the back, we have what's called a seamless lumbar design. And what that means is in the lower back, we don't have a seam that was welded here in the low back. And that way you can actually stretch out naturally in this Ultraflex neoprene. On the exterior of the suit, you'll see this shark skin material. This is along the back. This is wind resistant and water repellent. Wind cannot penetrate it, water wicks off. Again, all trying to protect the core and keep you warm. If you look on the front of the suit, you'll see that same shark skin material, wind and water repellent also. And if you look on the interior of that particular panel, that shark skin panel, you'll see their proprietary what's called Ultraflex firewall. This is a thermal technology that reflects heat back to you, into your body. It also wicks away water, and it's also very stretchy. So this is laminate put on top of the neoprene in the manufacturing, again, to keep you warm. And that is consistent in the back of the suit on the inside here as well. Another thing I love about this suit, if you take a look at it, this is us looking at the suit inside out, you can see that it looks like our body's in the suit. This is like a 3D form. This is because it was engineered to be anatomically cut. What that actually means is that you have less material for this suit. It's actually naturally cut to fit the figure in 3D form. And when you have less material that could be excess, that means you really have the minimal amount of water that can stay inside the suit, so your body has to work less to heat that water up, which is what's actually keeping you warm. If you look at the side body of the suit, there's some nice little tricks I like to show folks. This is a curve. The suit is so well engineered that there's actually S-curves in the suit, and what that means is you get more stretch out of a suit that's designed like this. If I pull this it finally goes straight. If this line were straight already, and I went to pull it, it would get rigid. So what we have here are S lines, not often advertised, and what we get is really forward-thinking engineering throughout the entire suit. The other thing I want to show you, coming back to the front of the suit, if water were to flush in both sides, where you have this here, we have a glide skin, and we also have a weld here. And this is to help prevent water from flushing into the suit. If and when it does, what's designed here in the back is a pinhole right here, and that lets the water drain out that comes in this way. So it's a really amazing, a little bit of technology there as well. In the arms, I also want to show you, if we flip them inside out, there's pieces of liquid fluid tape on the inside here. This is to actually help keep your wrist in place, as well as not allow this seal to blow out. So you'll see that in the lower leg as well. If we look here, it's a nice feature. Another thing that we have with the Mutant, another Oneill high-end feature, is the abrasion-resistant knee pads, a different laminate put on the knees specifically to actually prevent you from ripping up the exterior of this laminate. And the whole suit's not made of something like this, because this actually glides through the water more efficiently when you're trying to swim and get to your surfboard, for example. On the inner groin area, not all suits are designed the same. We've got this nice arch, and this actually gives you more material in this area of the suit, and it allows you to stretch out naturally, so you don't feel like you have a triangle here in the groin area. It's more rounded, and it feels more natural in the suit. So say you're on a jet ski or a surfboard or sitting down, that you feel more natural in the suit. Again, large panels of neoprene, no seams from the wrist all the way down the side body. Take a look at suits on the market. This doesn't happen very often because, again, it's more expensive to make. So a seamless paddle zone, shoulder and underarm means more stretch. So it's really advantageous to actually use high-end stretchy neoprenes and also complement them with the right pattern cutting. So beautiful design, glide skin hood, easy to get in and out of. You can see how big the opening is on the top of this particular suit. If I show you here, you can see how wide this goes. How you put one of these suits on is, let's just pretend that this is the outside. You would flip it like a pair of trousers, and you would step into the suit and then pull it up over your shoulders, one arm at a time. Obviously this is inside out, you would be having it the other way. So it's easy to get into, nice wide opening. So it's a beautiful suit, comes in a 3-2 and a 4-3. It might even come in a 5-4. And if I missed any details on the Oneill Mutant wetsuit, take a look at our website for more information at PleasureSports.com.